was going to ask a little bit earlier was, just because you go to a meeting and some so-called prophet or godly man reads your mail and tells you things that are true, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's from God. Is that right?
That's right.
Because it might not be coming from God at all.
That's right.
Because I think so many people think, well, what he said was true, therefore he must be of God.
Yeah. That's an erroneous conclusion, and one that people wouldn't fall prey to if we had the correct definition of what God would call a prophet.
Yes.
Because God would call a prophet a person coming and declaring the spirit of prophecy, revealing the oracles of God in Christ. He wouldn't define it as fortune telling. Right?
Yeah.
And so it become real easy for people to not be confused if they had been taught a prophet is a person who's going to come and reveal Christ and Him crucified. To you, through you, in you, for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We'd never become confused. We wouldn't just automatically think that because this guy told me my address or read my mail, it must mean he's from God.
Right.
And if he's not from God, then he's then the evil one, Satan, is the one giving him the power
Yes.
to tell these facts about people that in fact are true.
Right, and listen, there's lots of people who don't even believe in God that can tell you things about your life.
Mm-hmm. You bet.
Right? They don't know God. I mean, the Bible college I went to, the guy who started the Bible college, he did this whole series about knowing the love of God. And knowing the love of God, he talked about the one series was the love of God through you. And he used as an example, and I've talked about this woman before, but he used as an example this woman who had just lost her husband, and she had all these like donut shops and stores. And her husband had just died like a week before that, and she was in one of the stores all distraught and everything, and a guy walked in there and read her mail. Told her everything about her life. From beginning to end. Then told her he was God. And that she needed to marry him. And so because he told her all these things that there's no way he could know, she bought it hook, line, and sinker and married the guy. The guy then proceeded for the next 10 years of their marriage to be doing animal sacrifices in the house and everything, had her daughters locked up in the basement, wasn't feeding them, was abusing them, was beating her, all types of crazy stuff. All just because he came in and told her things that he couldn't have known. And so it must be God.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Now, at the end of it, that's a sad story, but at the end of it, the love of God manifested out of her and shocked the guy so much that he ended up getting saved and going off to Bible college and becoming a preacher. Because he couldn't, I think it ended with them sitting in a counseling session. And he talked first in the counseling session, and he just blasted her. Everything he did to her, he blamed on, he said she did to him. So everything he did to her, he said that she had done it to him. Wow. And so the counselor was just blasting her. You don't have to stay with her. You don't have to be married with her. You don't have to put up with that from her. And then he asked her, what do you have to say for yourself? And you know what she said? I used to think that he was my problem. But then I realized that I was my problem. This is a woman who'd been beaten. The police had been called out to her house all these different times. And he had been abusing her daughters, had them locked up in chains and stuff in the basement. And they walked out of that meeting, and he couldn't believe that she said that. That she didn't defend herself. That she didn't blame him. That she didn't try to rectify it. That she said, he on the spot said, your God is greater than mine. He saw love come out of her towards him when he had done everything to destroy her. And he just told her, your God is greater than my God. And he got saved. Wow. He repented. His life got healed, man. He went off into Bible college, become a preacher.
Wow.
Well,